Hello there, Taurus, and welcome to your June reading. I'm really happy to see you guys, and I hope that you're feeling what I'm feeling this month, which is a surge of energy and opportunity coming through. And as I was meditating on your sign in particular, two things came through. It came under the umbrella of one idea, the idea of realizing, and that is your channeled information this month, realize. The cool thing with realize, and I put sort of like two of the meanings that really jumped out for me. Part of realizing is understanding what can happen, gaining knowledge, basically feeling like you know. So it's a knowing. The second part is to execute upon something. It's manifestation. For instance, if you realize your potential, you realize that you have the potential, but then you also follow through and manifest your potential, or you realize your dream. You realize what your dream is, and then you realize the dream and make it happen. So I like the sort of two meanings of the same word, and also in your life, there's power in that. Once you understand what you can do, you do it, or you can do it. So this month, I guess what I'm hoping that you can understand is the latent, or right under the surface, possibilities and potential that your sign in particular has. This is the month when you want to activate it. And the activation has to happen when you understand and believe in yourself. So really good month for working on yourself when it comes to confidence and self-worth. And that is going to directly affect your potential in success in both business, relationships, and really all parts of your life. So think highly of yourself would be my message this month. Your thoughts are very powerful. When you manifest them in both speech and actions, then you kind of become unstoppable. All right, let's get to the reading now. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck that I've chosen for you this month. While I'm doing this, just a quick hello for all the folks that have come back from month to month. I appreciate you. For the new folks, the way I organize this reading is three parts. I begin actually with the channeled information, which we just talked about, and then we'll do a Celtic cross, looking at all of the information and energy for this month. And then I'll expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. And that really allows us to get all of the information that is going to help each and every sign from month to month. All right, so let's take a look. It's going to be busy. I can see it already. We've got the Eight of Wands here. Really love this one showing the activity and the action that's associated with the Eight of Wands. So the only other deck I've seen that is in the Doreen Virtue one, where you kind of see like the action happening. It's interesting that right on top of that we have the Devil card, which I think I kind of went to the lighter side of things when I was talking about realize. The Devil here is about second guessing yourself. It's about not realizing what you can do. It might be about listening to someone who doesn't have your best interest at heart. So the Devil wears many sort of disguises, and sometimes it can be the disguise of a friend or a loved one or someone who you think you know but you really don't know. So let's look at the Catalyst card first, and then I think all of this will come into greater focus. For the new folks, for me, a Catalyst card is what sets everything in action, but it's also a connective thread. So to me, it's the most important card that I pull, but let's see what it is before I go any further. So it is about doubt. The first thing that I see when I see this is doubt. I want you to me, doubt is one of the lower frequencies that you can experience. There's things like fear, hatred, doubt, despair. They're all lower frequency energies. And what doubt does is basically, if it's coming from this person that may be manifesting themselves as this card, the Devil, it's a tricky person that's in your periphery that may be trying to make you lower your frequency, not to shine as brightly. So I'm encouraging you, and this could be anyone. Unfortunately, for some of us, this can be a parent. It can be a partner. It can be a brother, a sister, a lover. Whoever it is in your life, you'll know. And if you don't know, then it's just the thoughts that can enter your mind about, I don't know if I can. So I want you to, whether the Devil's an incarnate sort of person in your life or just a thought, a shadow around you, to realize that it doesn't have any power and it's just one person's perspective. When you do that, you basically deflate that energy and you can move forward. So I know it's easier said than done sometimes, but work at it and try to see it as a single. It's kind of like if you saw like a pile of straw. This is one little straw. And so why give it all the weight? The weight is what everything else is. There are all of the other voices and energy and thoughts. This is just one. So I would like you in this instance to mute that one voice or that one person in your life that's trying to pull you back and move forward, because there's such beauty around you and there's so much opportunity that I don't want you to waste it. With the Eight of Wands, particularly in business this month, I don't think you have time for this, and that's the best way to approach it. If someone's kind of driving you crazy or a situation is nagging at you, you can literally use that excuse, say, I'd love to talk more about this, but I have a meeting, or I need to go to this appointment, or I just need to get to sleep tonight. It's been a really long night. Let's pick this conversation up next week. So use that if you need to. When I'm looking at deep past here, we have Queen of Wands in reverse. So one thing you want to be aware of coming into this month is to try not to hold on to any sort of stubbornness, or to, if there's someone in your life again who's kind of trying to push you back or push you away from something, to step away, give that person a lot of space. They're really not worth engaging with. This card's very close to the Devil card, so it very well could be a fire sign. And if that's the case, you know that energy, you know how to deal with it. So my advice is to do your best to kind of avoid it, because sometimes things pop up where it's just really not worth the energy, and this is one of those. So as I'm looking at some of the other cards around you, Five of Cups, showing recent past and things that are influencing your current thought process. Try to look on the bright side of things if possible. You might be in an environment where a lot of people have difficulty with that. I say that because Page of Cups is in the environment card, and that's reversed as well. So if your emotions are tugging at you a little bit this month, the remedy for that is to get outside, to take a trip, to take a vacation, some time off. Distance is going to heal you. And the Fool is about letting go of worries and cares. Not to the point that you actually might cause yourself harm, but what the Fool does is they don't hold grudges and they don't stress that much. And what I'd like you to do is be playful. The Fool is sort of like a playful card. With the Eight of Cups in reverse on your crown, in your crowning position, couple things here. You may have had an on and off again relationship with either like just a platonic one with a friend or a romantic one. What I see this month is it's going to be more heading towards the off stage with the reversal of this card. The other thing that I see here is it's a very good month for you, this sign in particular, to stop things. So if you've been thinking of, cutting out sugar, caffeine, alcohol, or, trying to stop another type of habit in your life, whatever it is that has been sort of holding you, it won't have as strong a hold on you this month. So you're going to have better success in moving past it. So think about that. When we're looking at where your mind is for most of this month, the ego position here is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is a contemplation card. It goes really nicely with what I channeled, which was to think about potential, opportunity, and to see yourself connected in a successful trajectory to those things. So awareness and manifestation to realize on more than one level what you can do. The other thing is, I actually think you're in a very positive trajectory for the next 2 months, which is exciting. Like I said, there's been a waiting period through retrograde shadow, all the retrograde of the planets and stuff. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I see it coming to a close, and there's opportunities coming through for Taurus this month. As I said earlier, try not to let your emotions pull you in too much. And for those of you that might be looking for new love, it's a month where I would say be cautious about that. Because when I look at the outcome card, and I'll pull the camera down for a second here, we have the King of Cups in reverse. So 2 Cups cards in reverse. There could be a very strong water sign in your life, but also could there just be a lot of people needing energy from you. Either way, the reversals of these 2 cards really kind of show me that your emotional state may not be at its zenith this month, and what's really holding you back again is maybe the lack of visibility for some of you in what's coming next. When I see Eight of Swords, it's a card associated with stress and fear. It happens when you've been through a lot and you kind of feel like everything you're doing is not equaling up to what you wish it would. So for some of you, in your mind, the Eight of Swords can sound like, you know, I've put in all this energy, I've done all of this work, and still it's not working, which is a totally human emotion to have. And so what you can do when this kind of comes into your thought process is think, why is it that I'm being blocked on this particular avenue? Could it be because the timing's off? Could it be because the people I've chosen to work with are not ideal? Is there some sort of a hidden blessing in the blocks that you have? Sometimes we can't see it. You have to talk to someone else, a friend, a counselor, a reader, or whatever, and they can kind of remind you that the world isn't working against you. I actually never think that it is. This whole experience, life, our friends, the existence that we have on this planet, it's one big class, and we're all in the big classroom together. And graduation, believe it or not, is when we transition from the physical body to back into energy. So we have a lifetime to live, to learn, and the world is not against us, and life isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. And these things are happening for us. So when you say, why do all of these bad things happen to me? You could say, why are all these challenges being presented for me? Use the word for instead of to, and then you see opportunity. So if you're trying to date someone and they don't want to date you, maybe that's the universe saying this union isn't ideal. Or if you've been trying to get a job and you've been on 5 interviews and you can't quite get into it, maybe there's a reason. I've had similar situations pop up, particularly with employment, where you interview and then it doesn't work, but then 3 or 4 months later, the company closes and you realize, that's why it didn't work out, and I'm so grateful that it didn't. So with all of that being said, this month is pretty good for you, but the emotional area of your life is going to be the most challenging. So I want you to focus on trying to rein in any sort of feelings of sadness or fear. And once you can kind of overcome those, I think that the great opportunities in front of you can start to be realized. Let's expand this forecast and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. And I think it's going to come into much stronger focus. And then I'll review everything at the end. Okay. So your health card this month, I'll pull the camera down. I know everyone likes to see as I shuffle. But your health card this month is always about mind, body, and spirit. I like to remind folks it's not just about your physical health. It's all aspects of your life. So health is about resolving karmic connections. Now, this is also a DNA card. The interesting thing with this, I actually get 2 messages for you. One, when we come into this life, some of what we've been programmed to experience is, or even where we live, how we look, what country we're in, we've kind of pre-programmed these variables. There's some things we can't escape at the beginning because we're supposed to experience what it's like to be this, this, and this. So those elements are coming through in the DNA card, but this is also something that you can work past. You can actually shift the energy in your DNA. I mean, you're not going to change your hair color and stuff like that. What this is much more subtle. We're talking about energetic shifts within your DNA, and then also looking at the karmic side of things. All right, so you've been given certain things that you can't change. What can you change? It's almost everything else in your life, from what you wear to where you live to what you do. So look at the opportunities this month and embrace those. The other thing with this, when we're looking at health, I really want you to take a look at any sort of hereditary illnesses that might be in your family and make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So whether it's diabetes or high blood pressure, heart disease, and the list goes on and on and on, make sure that you are getting screened, that you're up to date on all the tests, and you know about all the treatments if you have one of these illnesses, and perhaps one that I didn't name. But DNA, 2 things. One, there are some things that are given to us, they're opportunities, and so looking at it from a mental perspective, see them as opportunities and move past them. And then on a sort of health level, the DNA is saying, hey, yeah, you are dealt a hand. Don't be afraid of it. So if there's cancer in the family, eat well, get proper screening, get mammograms or x-rays or whatever's necessary to take care of your body to make sure that you're healthy, happy, and alive as long as possible. All right, so let's now take a look at your wealth card. Wealth includes all kinds of opportunities. It's not just money, it's career, it's school, and it's partnerships. So for you, we have cycles, and I mentioned that this would be a time to get out of a cycle. So I'm going to connect these two. For those of you that have been spending, perhaps out of your means, or perhaps there's some other sort of fear associated with this, or you're in a cycle where you are underappreciated, not just at work, but maybe in relationships. This is a time now to kind of end that cycle. It's about worth, it's about money, because it's in your wealth sector. So I want you to end whatever the cycle is. Underestimating, underspending, whatever it is. Really, underspending is never a problem, is it? But you can save more, something like that. So what I really want you to focus on is how to build better cycles in your life, and how to let go of things regarding money and worth, self-worth, and then how you're spending and how you're even receiving abundance in your life. Because sometimes we shut out abundance and it's there and it wants to come through. With the Eight of Wands at the center of this month, you may have like 2 or 3 different job opportunities or partnerships, or someone may come out of the blue and ask you, hey, do you want to work on this with me? And this is saying, maybe you do. Maybe you want to give them at least a listen to see what the opportunity is. So let's take a look. We looked at health, we looked at wealth. Now let's look at your love. Love includes all relationships, from the relationship between you and yourself, so self-love and self-worth, and others in your life. So what is your love message this month? Life force. So, and we also have a card here that in one of the other decks is about fear and sometimes hiding behind things. So when we're looking at love, life force, making sure that you realize what you're bringing. It says, express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. So what's interesting with this is it seems like it should be in love, but it's not. And I don't think that's accidental. Some of you may meet love in the workplace because of the sort of deity associated with this. I would say express some caution in it. I have another deck where this is a card that you want to be careful of. So try not to mix love and work, or love and school. Try to keep these things separate if you can. On a completely flip side of the coin, for those of you that are either in a really great relationship, single, or just not looking to date, what you can use with that passion is you can use it in your creativity, in your work, or put it towards, like, this doesn't have to just be for artists. It can be for anybody that really just has a great work ethic and wants to work longer hours and get ahead at work. So you can put your passion there. I would say this month it's better to take something like that and that approach than to potentially do something that could be dangerous. For those of you that meet love in the office, just make sure that you're following procedures and everything. For the rest of you, it's basically saying if you are in a relationship, this is a great month to spend time with your partner, because sensual and sexual powers are increased. So you're going to have a chance to enjoy one another's company and to possibly deepen your relationship. So it's very positive if you're in a relationship or just started one. And if you're not, it's saying work can be a great outlet for it. The only caution this month is be very careful about dating someone with whom you work or do business, and make sure that you're following all policies there. Okay, enough said on that. Let's take a look now at, we looked at health, wealth, love. Let's look at destiny. And destiny is really, where are you headed? Do you like where you're going? Are there any challenges on the road ahead? It's more of a marker or a GPS, and you can definitely change this, because the destiny is, for you, is constantly in flux, in motion. It says, be gentle with yourself. Release feelings of guilt so that you can experience lasting inner peace. Love that. And this is, what I like with this and what I'm seeing with this is it's a really good time for you to We don't do this as adults, but we do it as kids. I want you to kind of get out and have playtime. So whether that's for an adult going out on a hike or going to see a movie, I would love for you to do something that's just fun, just for you. And for those of you that like something a little less stressful and or expensive, this is about getting out in nature. We see this lamb here. So spending time with animals. I think you saw my dog in the background earlier. Spending time with the little things in life that make you happy. It's not complicated. This is what it's going to do for you, is basically open up your heart chakra. And we saw that there was, some interesting things going on with passion this month. Passion is usually lower chakras. So opening up the, your heart chakra, pulling that energy from the second chakra is going to help connect things and kind of basically raise your frequency a little bit. So for relationships, it will help you perhaps. This is a great time to go out on a picnic, a hike, see a symphony outside performing or something like that, or a concert together, something like that. Get outside and with nature, with animals, with children, or be like children and play and enjoy basically your life a little bit. Don't be so structured, and that's going to help you in all aspects of your life, because it feels like you need a break. So let's go ahead and summarize everything this month. As I said, I had a really great energy and feeling as I was looking at your sign. It's a month where the most important thing is to think about what you can do and to realize it's possible. Not only is it possible, but it's happening if you allow it to happen. So realize on more than one level. And then we were looking at how that kind of connects in the cards. First thing is opportunities abound this month. All you have to do is be open. For some of you might need to look a little bit, but whatever energy you put out there, it's going to come back, it looks like. Be careful of, listen, this devil card connects up to the passion card here that we were talking about. So I really want you to be careful with work relationships and love relationships, not mixing and matching. I normally don't have that kind of message, so it's kind of unique this month. It's a good time to stop cycles. We talked about it's self-worth and also like spending habits with money. So just feel like you're on top of things related to your finances. Getting outside is really important. More than once I've said that. Avoiding being stuck in a mental sort of cycle or way of thinking will help you quite a bit. Emotions are running really high for you this month. And so the only thing that seems like it's a major challenge, all of the Cups cards are in reverse. 8 of Cups, Page of Cups, and King of Cups. One correction, 5 of Cups is upright, but this card actually has connotations of dealing with sadness or finding your way through sadness. So there could be some grieving for some of you with all of these cards. And if that's the case, the Devil card can sometimes indicate a relationship where one or more person isn't honest or someone's not available. And that's possibly what I'm picking up on again. So if there's a kind of tricky romance that's in your life, with 8 of Cups reverse, this is about walking away from that. And the Devil's crossing the 8 of Wands. You're busy. Do you really want to put your energy into this relationship that seems like it's more work than it might be giving back to you? Okay. As we expand your forecast, 2 messages. One, if there's any sort of hereditary issues, anything that is literally in your DNA, I want you to take care of yourself and screen yourself properly. So whether it's breast cancer or diabetes or something else that runs in your family, stay abreast of what's going on. Be very proactive in your approach. And then the other part, karmically speaking, is when we come into this life, some things are kind of presented for us. Once you can see that these were not sort of punishments, but opportunities, take it to a place of empowerment, whatever that means for you, and realize, okay, what can I do with this? And how can I focus on the other things that I can do or I can change? When we look at wealth, we have cycles. So I want you to make healthier cycles, spend wiser, save more. If there's anything that you're doing that's causing you to kind of go in a negative direction with your finances, this can include investments. This is the month to make a change. You're out of retrograde, so go for it. With love, be careful. If you're in an existing relationship, nothing to worry about too much. You can actually enjoy more energy, possibly more sexual energy with your partner. But just again, watch Mixing Work and Love, to kind of open up all of your energy and push through some of the sadness that you may be feeling this month. We have this Be Gentle with Yourself. So try to have fun, try to hang out with friends, try to find ways to heighten and lighten your energy. It's going to be very, very beneficial for you. And I forgot to mention the catalyst this month, which is connecting to, I believe, that Devil card, which is putting you in a place of fear or doubt. I really want you to transcend that. So with that being said, I really enjoyed reading for you this month. A lot of really powerful messages, particularly with this realization card that came through. And then a gentle note, as we saw, to be kind with your emotions and to try not to sit in that place of sadness too long. That's why we see the Fool card. Any type of exercise, any type of vacation or movement is going to help you quite a bit. So please stay in touch with me. The easiest way to do that is through subscribing to the channel. If you really like this, there's a little bell icon on the subscribe, right next to subscribe, and that would actually give you an email when I post new things. So a lot of times people ask when videos are posted. That's a really great way to do it, but YouTube's hidden that a bit. So that's a way to stay in touch. You'll see subscribe and a little bell. The other way is you can subscribe to my newsletter. So I send about one a month. I try not to overdo that, but occasionally if there's a meditation or news or something like that, I may keep you updated on that. But please feel free to subscribe. There'll be a link to my website and you can see how to do that. I'm also on social media, so Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are a really great way to keep in touch with me as well. With all of that being said, if you found this helpful and you'd like to donate, you can do that also. And finally, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate all the love and support all of you have given me from month to month, and you make this worth the while every month. So please keep up the likes, the subscribes, and all the really great feedback you've been giving me. So I hope you have all the information you need for the month of June. We've made it halfway through the year. I'll see you again in July, and I wish you all the best. Sat Nam. Goodbye. Thank you.